Doctors say you're fine, but you know that something is wrong. Your blood work can come back completely normal, but you still feel off. Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Kay. I'm a chiropractor and founder of the Center for Functional Health. And today I want to talk about why your labs are normal, yet you still don't feel your best. When you're experiencing fatigue, brain fog, low energy, or digestive issues, that happens a lot, and tests come back within range, it's very confusing and frustrating. The reason this happens is because standard lab testing is designed to detect disease. It's not designed to assess how well your body is functioning day to day. These reference ranges are based on population averages, not necessarily optimal health. So, being normal simply means that you don't meet the criteria for a diagnosable condition. It doesn't always mean that your body is operating efficiently. When you look at functional wellness and functional testing and consultation, it takes a different approach. Instead of waiting for disease, it looks at early patterns, it looks at trends, and looks at these subtle imbalances. These changes can show up in lab markers long before a condition develops. By identifying these patterns early on, it becomes possible to better understand why symptoms are happening. You see, the real difference between normal and optimal labs. There's a difference between those. And normal ranges are created using large population data, which often includes underlying health issues, so people who have health issues. This means the normal range can be quite broad, depending on the marker, obviously. Optimal ranges, on the other hand, reflect where the body tends to function most efficiently. A person can fall within the normal range or here, but still be at the very high or very low end of that range. And that gives us some information. These edge values can sometimes be associated with symptoms and sometimes not. Instead of only asking whether something is normal, the focus shifts to deeper questions. So you want to think about, is this level ideal for how the body functions best? You want to think about, is this marker trending in a healthy direction over time? That's why I think it's important to really repeat those labs so you can see. Because this pattern explains how someone is feeling. Looking at labs this way helps identify early imbalances in areas like metabolism, hormones, and nutrient status. It provides more context rather than relying on a single cutoff value. Remember, blood work has to tell a story. So this approach can help explain why someone may not feel well even when the results appear normal. One of the biggest causes of fatigue doesn't always show up clearly on labs. Inflammation is a normal part of the immune system and helps the body respond to injury or infection. But when inflammation becomes persistent, when it's ever present, even at low levels, it can affect many systems in the body. Think about changes in energy, metabolism, cardiovascular health, and overall well being. Here are several markers that provide insight into inflammation. So, one of the markers that we often look at is called C reactive protein, or CRP. It's commonly used to assess systemic, meaning widespread inflammation. Then we have erythrocyte sedimentation rate, or ESR, or sed rate, reflects how quickly red blood cells settle, which can indicate inflammatory activity. And then we have ferritin. Ferritin is often used to assess iron storage, but it can also increase during inflammation. Homocysteine, another great marker, is involved in metabolic processes and may rise with inflammation or nutrient imbalances. Blood sugar markers, one of my favorite, like fasting insulin and hemoglobin A1C, can reflect early metabolic stress linked to inflammation. The problem is, even when these markers fall within normal ranges, slight elevations can sometimes indicate underlying stress in the body. When multiple markers are viewed together, they can reveal patterns that are not obvious on their own. Now, these patterns can help explain symptoms and provide insight into how the body is functioning overall. What is fantastic now is one can easily order labs online without a doctor. It's great. We love the access. The problem is the interpretation of those lab markers. At least once per week, I will get a phone call from a patient who had labs done online and has a beautiful report, yet does not know what to do with the results of such. And nowadays, patients will tell me they just upload all the information into a large language model like HealthChat GPT or Perplexity. Perplexity has a health access as now as well. Although this is very cool, there's still a tendency towards cognitive bias in that large language model. And depending on how the individual prompts that model they use, the answers may be different. These are amazing, great advances that we are experiencing in our time when it comes to the medical world. We're going to have so many great things coming in. Now, it might be old-fashioned, but I believe there's still real value in building relationships with patients, sitting down together, talking about how they're feeling and learning what's going on in their lives so they can live as healthy as possible. That going knee to knee examination where we're talking to one another and building that relationship to learn about what they've experienced and what they've been through, so then we can set a path on how they can live their best life. Okay, that's it for now. Stay healthy and strong, and we'll see you soon. Take care.